So in order to determine which lilac and which is purple, to know more about next year's fashion predictions, we are now connected with Fandi Stuerz, international fashion journalist in Frankfurt, Germany. Good morning, Mas Fandi. Hi, Mas Fandi, can you hear us?
Good morning.
Good
Hello,
morning.
good
Good morning.
Hi, what time is it there, Mas Fandi?
It's 2 a.m.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry to interrupt your sleep.
7 minutes past 2. No, it's okay.
Very early there,
That's okay.
isn't it? All right, Mas Fandi, let's recap the Indonesian fashion trends in 2021. What is the style that is most upfront this year?
Well, Indonesia is traditionally never following the pattern of European or American fashion because we don't really have spring, summer, and fall, winter, unlike the four major capital of fashion in the world. New York, London, Milan, and Paris. But Indonesia is always, like unique, trying to find something but never found it. Like
Really?
the identity of Indonesian fashion is always segmented, like between cities and suburbs and villages, very different. And so the trend, if you ask me what is the biggest trend in Indonesia, it keeps changing from place to place. But generally, it's calm, like calmer colors, loose fit. So it's more like relaxed silhouette
Okay, but
and streetwear.
and streetwear. Okay. If we talk about streetwear, is it the same with the international fashion scene? Because we know that so many streetwear fashion brands are actually producing streetwears also. Is it the same, or does it have any different from the Indonesian trends?
Indonesian market picked it up quite late actually, because the trend of streetwear already began like at least 10 years with the startups, with the rise of internet companies, like mega brands of technologies. People start seeing that you don't have to wear a suit to be a CEO. You don't have to wear formal attire to have a business meeting.
Yeah.
You can just wear a t-shirt and jeans and sneakers. And it happened already in the US since at least 2008, 2009. And
Probably
it
that late.
was
Quite late,
resonating to the runway. And, there's a trickle-down effect. And in Indonesia, because our president is always keen to wear some local products, and he's wearing bomber jacket, he's wearing sneakers on field, and it's publicized widely. People start to look, I can wear something comfortable as long as the job is done, so I don't have to wear a formal suit all the time.
Yeah.
And it's more comfortable, of course, and it's of course easier for designers.
I see.
Right.
Okay. Speaking of bomber jacket,
because
I also
of the
want
sizing.
Yeah, you're rocking
This is
with
a
that jacket.
bomber jacket.
Okay, Mas Fandi, my question is, it's interesting that you said that Indonesia always has a niche fashion of itself. Looking at what people wear around here, we have a mix of Western influence, Korean influence now,
Yeah.
and then there's always the local traditional values that we have. Where is the strongest that pulls Indonesian fashion to, or is it always just a mix of everything?
It is always a mix of everything. It's just like, for example, the streetwear is at the moment very strong because of some viral moments or some memorable looks from the politicians. But at the end, batik is always be there.
Yeah.
Other traditional outfits will be modernized. So it's always unique.
Always unique, always
Always
a mix of everything. And Mas Fandi, as a fashion expert, what is your prediction about next year's fashion trend in 2022? Do you think any of these current fashion trends will remain in style next year? Maybe some of the 90s vibes are still in store in 2022?
I think 2020, 2021 both have become a very major factor in terms of trend setting. It's no longer about the length of the hemline or a cut or a specific silhouette. It's more about the idea behind it. You know, there's this social movement and social awareness. There's this solidarity towards Black designers, young designers. Sustainability is very important. Responsibility towards nature, and about the animal rights, about labor force. People care about where their clothes come from, who made their clothes, are they paid well? So it's more, like the idea of fashioning. It's not just the item. Of course, there's hot items that will still continue to be the trend in 2022. But I think young people are more aware about what they put on their bodies. Because they started already with the process with the food. But now it's, the effect is going to the fashion industry, which is, I think, positive.
Yeah, because fashion is a statement, right?
That's right.
It's what you wear, it's what you feel.
Yeah,
right?
And how you're comfortable in what you're wearing.
Yeah.
Now, Mas Fandi, let's.
But there are some items that will be always in trend. I mean, like, not always, but this year and then continue to next year.
All right.
Bright colors will be back. Bright colors will also, bright colors, sparkle, everything at full speed, because people are eager to go out and to, to show off and to just to enjoy the colors.
Right. Now, Mas Fandi, that brings me to my next question, which is the colors. Bright colors for sure. Any certain ones? Maybe because we talk about lilac.
We talk about lilac.
Which is 2021 thing.
Yeah.
Will that continue on?
Actually, it's really good. Yeah, it's a really good point, because next year the color of the year is very Perry. It's the periwinkle, like a light purple, but it's a specific color. It's called Very Perry. It's set by Pantone every year. This year there are two colors of the year, lemon illuminating and some shade of gray. And then next year is lilac, not lilac, Very Perry, like periwinkle.
Okay.
Purple.
So I see what you meant, because I look it up. So it's this color, Very Perry.
Yeah.
Very Perry.
Right? Okay. As you can see here, this is the color. Okay. This is the color set by Pantone, the one that Mas Fandi said. This is Very Perry. So this will be the color of the year in 2022.
That is very interesting.
Nice.
So it reflects personal inventiveness. It reflects creativity.
Wow.
So it's not just the color. It's not the color per se, but it's the idea that everybody wants to show themselves out there, or in social media, or with friends when they finally can travel. So the personal. I want to invent something for myself. I want to express myself. So the idea behind Very Perry is actually stronger than the color itself.
I see. All right. Okay.
Mas Fandi, in Indonesia, of course, we have a majority of Muslim.
That's right.
And the Muslim wear is also something we're seeing a lot on the streets these days. In which direction is that going to head for Muslim wear in Indonesia?
Yeah.
In Indonesia, it's going to be flourish. I mean, Indonesia is even though it's very warm, people who wear modest fashion know that it's not that warm, wearing like full clothes, full covered. Well, in 2018, I think the statistic, it was around $3 billion the volume of modest fashion, about 1/3 of the entire fashion and garment industry in Indonesia. So the potential is really big.
Okay.
And in 2018, President Jokowi said that Indonesia has to be the leaders of
modest fashion,
of Muslim fashion in the world. So the government has already, the intention is already there.
Yeah.
and there must be some plans and some strategies and some support towards the designers and the industry, of course. But the market is ready. I mean, the international market of modest fashion is really big.
Okay. So what are the predictions in terms of hijabi style, the hijab style? Do you have any specific style in mind for 2022?
People start to understand that modest fashion and Muslim fashion is not a trend.
Yeah.
So for some people who cover themselves, like more thoroughly, it's not just about because they want to follow a trend.
Yeah.
Because they have to dedicate
That's right.
themselves from then on to keep covering their bodies. So it's going to be a very broad range of options. Some people will go to the traditional part of clothing, of wearing ensembles, but the others would be still maybe trying to find a way. I don't want to offend Muslim community, but I want to cover myself. So it's going to be very interesting to see how people will interpret. The more designers offer collections that are modest, so people will have more options.
That's very interesting. Now, Mas Fandi, they say in fashion, classic and vintage, that will never grow old. Do you agree with this? Will it always be there?
Well, classic becomes classic because they were, in the beginning, controversial or powerful or impactful. So as long as the impact is there, like, for example, now we see, a model wearing trousers. I mean, it was unthinkable in 7 decades ago or 8 decades ago. And now it's very normal. It becomes, like classic business attire for women.
Yeah.
So what is considered vintage, what is considered classic, the time is already passed, so it's not going to be out of date.
Okay.
It's just the combination that is going to be challenging for some people to combine, the aesthetic of 80s or 90s.
I see. Fashion comes
It's
and goes,
something
but
new,
style is
but,
forever, they say,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Right.
Okay. Because we think we're stylish right now, since you're here and we have dressed up. Can you tell us a little bit about what you think about our outfits? Because I'm wearing this bomber jacket, which I never wore before, and I'm wearing this trousers. I think it's got a 90s vibe in it.
90s vibe, oversized. What do you think?
What do you think about this?
I think functionality plays a big role in there because there are so many pockets. It's big, like big.
That's a good
The
point.
first impression
fit
is like
the-
relaxed,
The hand sanitizers everywhere. I mean, my sanitizers everywhere. How about Weedy? Because Weedy's wearing his overalls.
What do you think of the overall, Mas Fandi?
Well, the overall is cute.
It's cute, but not quite fashionable.
It depends because the body language has to support as well. Has to, loosen up a little bit.
Yeah. You need to be more confident.
Right.
But it's good. It's good.
All right.
Okay. So, in your opinion, Mas Fandi, who do you think would be the best figure that can be looked up to as a fashion reference or fashion idol in 2022? Maybe Kim K?
She has a very big power, but social media has democratized the way people consume fashion and consume trends. I don't know, maybe in 2022 there will be some viral moments that will define or change even the prediction of trends of so many organizations and media and magazines. Kim K is very strong because she has a huge following. But there are also micro-influencers who have devoted followers. They will follow whatever those influencers are doing.
Can you name a few?
In this age of social media, it's kind of difficult. I mean, in Indonesia or
anywhere, maybe that we can
in
follow
Indonesia?
right away.
Okay. Well, in Indonesia, there's Anastasiantar. She likes to combine Indonesian brands and with high-end brands.
Yep.
So people have options. I don't want to see all day, the European brands. I want to see also local talent.
Yeah.
I think she's one of the leading in Indonesia in terms of like the personal style, because she also combines with what she already has.
She always
So
has
that's a good thing.
nice style. And how about male figures, Mas Fandi? Do you have any name in mind?
In Indonesia, I don't really follow male influencers because they kind of look the same. In terms of the style.
How about in the
I don't know,
international?
like oversized T-shirt and a fanny pack and sneakers. They wear the same thing. So international, Pelayo Diaz. Pelayo Diaz is very it's mixed of street and formal wear. He makes it very, very well. Brian Boy is always a loud voice in fashion, even though sometimes the contrasting colors is a little bit too much, but it's his personal taste, and it's just an expression. But those two, I think, for men.
Well noted, and we'll follow them right away.
That's right. So we have a lot more inspirations to follow it right now. Mas Fandi, thank you so much for joining us 2 a.m. in the morning there and sharing us the world of fashion for 2022. All right, we'll see you again. Thank you.
Stay safe, Mas Fandi.
Stay safe. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
You too.
All right, so we know what will be the trends in 2022.